the news tonight, Buhari wants least developed countries integrated into global value chain. Atiku, PDP leaders storm INEC office, protest election outcome. Lasso students shot gates, protest soldiers maltreatment. INEC asks tribunal to vary inspection order granted Atiku Obi. Deadly throat ailment kills 6 to 1 in Kano. And to foreign, presidential elections failed to meet Nigerians' expectations. U.S. Ambassador. And on sport, Jamie Carragher slams Casemiro, other Man United stars, in the match yesterday. Now the news in detail. I am Morire Rabila Lawal from BGI TV, the world news in details. President Muhammadu Buhari has urged developed and developing nations to grant duty-free and quota-free market access for products from the world's 46 least developed countries to ensure their integration into regional and global value chains. The president made the call while speaking at the UN Conference of Least Developed Countries in Doha, the capital of Qatar. The president criticized the current structure of the global financial system, which places an unsellable and sustainable external debt burden on the most vulnerable countries. According to a statement released by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, the President cautioned that such debt burdens would make it extremely difficult for LDCs to meet the 2030 agenda for 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Moving on to the next story. The national leadership of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, on Monday led a black uniform protest to the national headquarters of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, in Abuja to protest the outcome of the February 25th poll. The PDP flag bearer, Atiku Abubakar, the party's national chairman, Eyocha Ayu, the vice presidential candidate of the party, and Governor Ifeanyi Okowa of Delta State, amongst other leaders of the party, led the protest. The protesters later blocked the INEC headquarters entrance. The security personnel at the commission have since locked the gate. Going on to
The last is yet to be heard of the outcome of the presidential election as the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Mr. Atiku Abubakar, and the vice presidential candidate, Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, as well as other PDP leaders, lead a protest march to the headquarters of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, in Abuja. The takeoff point is the Legacy House, Abuja, where party supporters converged this morning to express their disappointment over the non-upload of the presidential results on the BVAS platform. The PDP candidate had earlier condemned the process leading to the victory of the APC candidate, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The PDP, amongst others, demands is asking INEC to cancel the elections, maintaining that the process was compromised.
The students of Lagos State University, Ojo, have shot both gates leading to the school in protest against soldiers torturing some students last week. The parent who could not exit the campus told Punch that the student locked up both the Iyanoiba and Ojo gates, thereby preventing both vehicular and pedestrian movement. He said, "We have been here for some hours. The students locked up both gates. Everywhere is filled with vehicles trying to come in and exit." The security men said the students shut the gate because they are executives and some students were beaten by soldiers last week. "We are all waiting at the gate, no movement." The institution's public relations officer promised to make inquiries on the cause of the protest and get back to the correspondent. But as of the time of filing this report, he had yet to reply to inquiry as promised. And to the next story. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, is asking the Presidential Election Petition Court to vary the orders which was earlier granted the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Atiku Abubakar, and Labour Party LPs, Peter Obi, to inspect materials used for last presidential election. In a motion on notice filed on March 4th, the electoral body is praying the court to vary the order which restrained it from tampering with materials used for the election. The commission said it needed to reconfigure the bimodal voter accreditation system (BVAS) for the next round of elections. The Court of Appeal Abuja on February 3rd granted the request of Obi and Atiku to have access to all sensitive materials INEC deployed for the conduct of the presidential election held on February 25th. The applicant urged the court to compel INEC to allow them to obtain documents in its custody that were used for the presidential election. They maintained that the requested document would aid their petition against the outcome of the presidential election contest that was declared in favor of the candidate of the All Progressive Congress, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Going to Kano State. An outbreak of diarrhea infection has claimed 61 lives in Kano State on March 2nd, 2023. The Kano State Case Manager, Dr. Salman Suwaid, disclosed this on Monday at a webinar organized by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention with the theme, Diarrhea Outbreak in Nigeria, Vaccination Response. Dr. Suwaid also said a total of 783 patients have been on admission so far. Of this number, 360 were females and 423 were males. Diarrhea is a serious bacterial infection caused by the bacterium called the name species that affect the nose, throat, and sometimes skin of an individual. Diarrhea spread easily between people through direct contact with infected people, droplets from coughing or sneezing, and contact with contaminated clothing and objects. The ongoing diarrhea outbreak and associated eye case fatality were due to a combination of low vaccination coverage and the absence of diarrhea antitoxin during the early stage of the outbreak. So far, the infection has been confirmed in Kano, Yobe, Lagos, Osun, and Katsina states. Going to next story in Lagos. The Lagos State chapter of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Monday said it is not officially talking with Labour Party for any possible joint. In a statement, in Lagos Secretary to the party, Mr. Akeem Amode, disclosed this in a statement in Lagos. Amode said that it was imperative to debunk claims that the LP's candidate, Mr. Gbadebo, Rhodes Vivo, that he was talking with the real owners of PDP structure in Lagos State. He said that the statement credited to Rhodes Vivo came as a disrespect to PDP, saying no one could lay claims to the ownership of the structure of PDP. PDP is a proper democratic party, and it is only the state executive of the party, as recognized by the national body, that can be described as the custodian of the PDP. Jandor is not planning to step down for any candidate. Amode, also the chairman, made Media and Publicity Jandor Funke 2023 Campaign Council said. He added that a claim that the PDP's governorship candidate, Dr. Ablaze Olajide Adediran Jandor, would collapse his structure to work for LP was false. Going on to the next story. The police command in Plateau has arrested an Inspector Solomon Damak for shooting a man, Yomna Salah, over an election argument. Mr. Salah is a resident of Tudunwada, community of Jos North, council area of Plateau. Alfred Alabo, the state police spokesperson, confirmed the arrest in the statement on Monday in Jos. The statement said the victim did not die but sustained serious injuries from the gunshot and added that he was currently receiving treatment at the Bingham University Teaching Hospital, Jos. The police spokesperson described the officer's action as unprofessional. He added, in order to ensure that the officer does not evade justice, he has been arrested, his firearm recovered, and he has since been detained for disciplinary action. In case you're just joining, you are watching the world news. Next to come, one person was allegedly killed and 2 Sienna vehicles with 5 tricycles, popularly known as Keke, were burnt by gunmen in Enugu. The incident happened at about 4:30 a.m. on Monday morning at the Liberty bus stop at Bagba in Enugu East local government area of Enugu State. About 2 vehicles and 5 tricycles, also known as Keke, were also burned by the hoodlums suspected to be enforcing sit-at-home order that was gradually being ignored by residents in the southeast. The incident occurred at the Liberty bus stop at Bakba, Enugu East local government area of the state capital, where the hoodlums descended on the passengers' vehicles that traveled to Nsukka. Going on to the foreign story. The United States ambassador to Nigeria, Mary Beth Leonard, said that the presidential polls on February 25th failed to meet expectations of Nigerians. She disclosed that many Nigerians are angry and frustrated with the process and outcome of the election. Leonard, in an opened the elections of February 25th, urged the Independent National Electoral Commission to address the challenges that can be resolved ahead of the March 11th gubernatorial elections and to undertake a broader review of problems that transpired during the last elections and what can be done to fix them. The statement reads, the people of Nigeria demonstrated their dedication to democracy on February 25th, but there are many angry and frustrated Nigerians, as well as many who are celebrating victories they believe were hard-fought and well-earned. In the coming days, it will be important for the future of this country that Nigerians not let their differences divide them and that the legally established process for resolving challenges to the elections be allowed to take its course. We commend Mr. Obi and Mr. Abubakar for their recent statement committing to take this path, and Mr. Tinubu, who INEC declared the president-elect under Nigeria's electoral framework, for acknowledging their right to do so. And lastly, on the world news is sports story. Liverpool legend Jamie Carragher has slammed 3 Manchester United players, including Casemiro, for going missing during the Red Devils Premier League 7-0 embarrassing defeat to Jurgen Klopp's side on Sunday. A brace hit from Cody Gakpo, Darwin Núñez and Mohamed Salah, and a goal from Roberto Firmino gave Liverpool the victory against Man United. Speaking on Gary Neville podcast after the game, Carragher said, the thing that really stood out for me is that there is being a lot of players stocked up as the team is getting built around them. The 2 centre-backs, Martinez and Varane, Casemiro in front and Rashford at the top of the pitch. Rashford has got to score. You've got to score that goal. What a chance that was. And the game is completely different. But to see Martinez and Casemiro on the bench after being subbed off and Varane not covering himself in glory, I thought it was a really bad day for them. Before we go on the world news, here come some headlines. Buhari wants least developed countries integrated into global value chain. We also brought to you article, PDP leaders storm INEC office, protest election outcome. Still on Lagos, LASU students shot gates, protest soldiers maltreatments. And on the election, INEC asked tribunal to vary inspection order granted Atiku Obi. And on sports, Jamie Carragher slams Casemiro, other Man United stars, for missing out on the game yesterday, 7-0, winning to Liverpool. For more updates on YouTube, our handle is Bagede Imo TV. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell, select option all to access our broadcast. On Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawiye Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. On Instagram, Bagede Imo _22. For advert placement of your goods and services, coverage of events and functions, please dial the phone number streaming on your screen for advert placement only. I am Morire Rebila Lawa. Good evening.
Oh, na, na, na. If you want to know what's going on in city, or you want to listen to the latest news and gist, no stress, just to be